It began as a peaceful trip into the forest. I wanted silence, solitude, but something out there was watching me. I saw nothing, but I felt it in the shadows, in the silence. This is my true story. I didn't plan to stay that long. Just 2 nights of solo trek through the Northeast Pines, a last-minute detour on a trail recommended by a stranger at a gas station. No one goes there anymore, the man had said, but it's quiet, real quiet. The trail wasn't marked on my GPS, but it showed faintly on an old paper map I'd kept in my car for years. The path was narrow, overgrown, and curved like it was avoiding something. By dusk, I realized I hadn't seen another person, another animal, or even another sound in hours. My first night was uneventful. The trees were oddly uniform tall, black pines with little underbrush. My fire crackled weakly in the damp air. No stars, no moon, only the sound of my own breathing. That was the first time I saw it. Not clearly just the suggestion of movement between the trees, like someone walking just out of the firelight. No sound, no footsteps, just a figure, standing, then gone. I chalked it up to the shadows. Long day, fatigue. I went to sleep thinking it would all feel normal in the morning. It didn't. I woke up to find the ashes from my fire arranged into a perfect circle. Inside the circle were small pebbles stacked into a pyramid. I hadn't done it, I would have remembered. My bag had been moved 2 feet to the left, and my boots were filled with water. I hadn't camped near any stream. I should have left then, but I told myself I was being dramatic. I wanted to prove I wasn't afraid of the dark. That night, the fog rolled in early. It moved like it was alive, slowly snaking through the trees, pressing up against my tarp like a breathing thing, and I began to hear them. Whispers. At first they sounded like wind, then like a woman's voice, then like my name. I unzipped the tarp and shone my flashlight into the fog. The beam didn't go far. It hit the trunks of the pine trees and just stopped, like the light was being swallowed. Then I saw it again. The shape. Only this time, it was closer. A pale figure, standing among the trees. Tall, too tall, with long black hair that hung unnaturally still. Its face wasn't visible, either hidden or not there at all. It didn't move, not until I turned off the flashlight. And then, it was gone again. I didn't sleep that night. I just lay still, listening. Every few minutes, the whispers would return, closer each time. And around 3 a.m., something brushed against the tarp, like fingers trailing along the outside, followed by soft breathing, right beside my head. At dawn, everything was normal again. No fog, no footprints, no marks, except one, a small handprint, smudged in ash, on the inside of the tarp. I left camp at sunrise, didn't pack up, didn't eat, just walked. North, I thought, but the forest didn't feel right. The trees had shifted. Where there had been a clear trail the day before, there was now only thick pine and brush. No birds, no insects, just the crunch of my boots and the strange, distant echo, like someone was walking behind me, always just far enough I couldn't turn fast enough to see them. By midday, I found something I didn't remember passing. A stone, about waist high, carved with strange shallow markings, circles, jagged lines, and what looked like eyes. Dozens of eyes, all open, all staring in different directions. I reached out and touched it. It was warm, slightly vibrating, like something was pulsing inside. The moment I pulled my hand away, I heard someone scream, far off. Maybe a woman, maybe not, but it came from the direction I was heading. I should have turned back, but I didn't. An hour later, the light started to change. Not dimmer, just wrong. Like it filtered through water instead of air. And the trees began to look the same. Exactly the same. Each one spaced the same distance, same height, same branches. No broken limbs. No leaves on the ground. Like a hallway that looped forever. That's when I found my own camp again. Exactly as I had left it. Boots still wet. Ash circle untouched. The tarp still warm. Like I had just stepped away minutes ago. But I had been walking for hours. Had an eye. I checked the clock on my camera. It said 5:43 a.m. Earlier than when I had even left that morning. I laughed. A shaky, dry laugh. I told myself the clock was wrong. Until I noticed something inside the tent. My sleeping bag was unzipped, and something was inside it. Not a shape. Not a person. Just a dent. Like someone had just risen. Seconds before I arrived. And on the tarp, written in soot, were 3 words. Lay back down. I didn't. I ran. I ran until my legs gave out. Until the trees blurred into streaks. And the breath burned in my throat. I collapsed near a small stream. The only sound I had heard in hours. The water was murky. Still. But I drank it anyway. And as I leaned down, I saw something in the reflection. Not my face. It looked like me, but its eyes were open too wide. Its mouth was moving, but no sound came out. Then it blinked, but I hadn't. I stumbled back, heart racing, but there was nothing there. No stream, no reflection, just dry earth beneath me. I had hallucinated. I had to believe that, didn't I? That night, I didn't set up camp. I sat under a tree, clutching my camera like it was a weapon. I didn't sleep, but I dreamed. In the dream, I was back in my tent, but everything outside was wrong. The trees pulsed like veins. The sky was dark red, and I could hear something pacing just beyond the firelight. A soft humming, like a lullaby played backward. Then the flap opened, and I saw her, the same figure. Hair, long and black. Face blurred, but now I saw no eyes. Just smooth, pale skin where a face should be. She stepped inside, bent down to me, and whispered something into my ear, but I woke before I could hear it. Only when I opened my eyes, I was back in the tent, the same tent, unzipped, still warm, and beside me, a small, perfect pile of ash with my own watch sitting on top, its glass cracked, hand spinning backward. I screamed, loud, violently, and the forest echoed it back in dozens of voices, some too deep, some too high, all slightly off. I don't know how I left. I don't remember the walk. I just remember waking up in my car, door unlocked, camera on the passenger seat, covered in ash, still recording. When I looked at the footage, it was mostly static, just white noise and faint, garbled whispers. But near the end, for about 4 seconds, the image cleared. It was me, lying in the tent, eyes closed, then opening, wide and wrong, like in the reflection. I stared at the camera and whispered something. I reversed the audio, played it over and over, until I finally heard it. You never left. I made it out of the forest, but sometimes I wonder if a part of me is still trapped there. At night, when everything is quiet, I still hear it. The knocking, the whisper, "Do you remember me?" If you've ever felt eyes watching you from the dark, you are not alone. There are more stories, more shadows, waiting. Subscribe if you dare. We'll meet again soon.